So still on COVID-19, the lockdown means that some schools are not allowed to operate, or schools are not allowed to operate as per usual. But as we move to alert level 4, the Minister of Basic Education Angie Motshekga has made it clear that the government does not want to postpone the school year any more than necessary. The department has also taken measures to help students continue educating themselves during lockdown. We're joined now by Matakanye Matakanya, who is General Secretary, National Association of Schools Governing Body. A very good evening to you, and thank you so much for speaking to us. Let's just first start with, to your knowledge or understanding, how many school days have we lost as a result of school closures and the lockdown so far?
Good evening, SABC, and all your listeners. I believe we have lost a lot of days for our children to miss school.
And just the learner support programs that the Department of Basic Education has put in place, have they been adequate to at least rescue some of the schooling year so that children are not too far behind and that they're not compromised in terms of subject contact?
You know, SABC, it is really problematic in the sense that now coronavirus has exposed the inequalities of our education system in South Africa. You see, when you talk about the preparation that has been made for our children probably to continue studying at home, it is only for those children who are in schools that are able, schools that have got some resources. But there are schools in this country that do not really have any resources, particularly the poorest of the poor and the working class. They don't have anything. And that is now a source of point that it must be seriously discussed, because we don't know when schools will be reopened. We are just going to enter into stage 4 from the 1st of April. Then we really do not know when schools will be open. But nevertheless, as I said earlier on, is that those children that are in better schools are continuing learning. So by the time we open, then they will be really ahead of the children that are not able to study at this point in time. So it's a big problem. And I think as you asked that question, we feel that now, as much as we are debating, because it is not only the question of the Department of Education, it is the country that is debating the education system in this country. How also do we help those children? How do we ensure that they are on par with other children?
And we'll continue along the theme of the massive socioeconomic divide and inequalities. But as it stands, what would you prefer, bearing in mind, obviously, the dangers of opening up schools, still at very much the lower end of our COVID-19 infection rate? We have not reached peak. We are nowhere near that.
I think the president has directed very clear that we are moving to stage 4 on the 1st of May. Now, stage 4 has got some criterion to follow. One of the criterion is that the workforce that should go back to work is 30%. Now, you look into the school system. When you say 30%, who are you referring to? And then who is the 70% that will remain outside? So we just feel that now we just have to make preparation, serious preparation. Schools must be clean, schools must be deeply clean, schools must have water, schools must be having proper toilets. Then schools, when we go back, we must know whether really shall we be to observe the social distance. Because in some schools, the township, the poorest of the poor, the working class, you will find that the 1:50, 1:70 children in a class. So how do you observe the social distance in that instance? So it's a problem. So we are just saying, by the time we say, yes, we must go back to school, then we must be able to comply and observe.
Mr. Matakanye, it doesn't answer the question from where you sit, and I understand the concerns that you raise. Some of the recovery plans are focused mainly on electronic media, given the fact that some parents not only don't have those resources, but their education level may not be commensurate with the demands of using those tools. To your mind, as the school governing bodies, do you believe that we should be reopening schools?
Yes, as I'm saying, when schools are open, we must be ready. We must be sure that our children are not going to be thrown into the dark holes. Our children are not going to die there. We must be ensured that the teachers are not going to die there. And I'm saying to ensure.
We are ready. Do you think we are ready? Because this is the question that I'm asking. You're saying when schools reopen. I'm asking you, do you think we are ready, given the dangers?
We are not ready. I think I answered that question already, Sepi. So we are not ready. And as I said that now, we are just to enter into stage 4 by the 1st of May. Then we have to observe and monitor and assess the stage 4, whether really our children can go back. And we'll say we're not ready.
Okay, so let's talk about innovative ways to ensure at least that not only is education but knowledge sacrificed as we grapple with this. I mean, just looking at some of the innovative plans, the promotion of African storybook series through the To Enable app. Are you seeing any other innovative ways that people who don't have resources in the rural areas, people in informal settlements, can use to stimulate young minds, to keep them abreast of the school curriculum?
Yeah, I think the innovative ways is that we must make an audit in the sense that now areas where there are no electricity, areas where, because when there is no electricity, there's nothing you can do. Maybe the innovative way is that now we talk to the business people to provide radios, so that we can use batteries for those radios, so that those children can use radios to catch up. And I don't see any other means. Probably one means is that, and probably also the communities must be organized. And I don't know how organized, because we are in our houses and we don't know how can we organize ourselves, because we really cannot gather. The regulation does not allow us to gather, but if it was allowing us to gather, we will also organize ourselves in communities. But there is no way. Then the only way is to talk to the business people to provide the radios in all those areas that we don't have electricity, areas where they don't have gadgets like the gadget we are using.
Thank you so much, Matakanye Matakanya, who is the General Secretary, National Association of Schools, a governing body. Some of these things are still speculation, and of course, a situational analysis of alert level 4 will be given shortly by the Health Minister, along with his deputy experts from the NICD and the provincial leadership. And before we tell you a little bit more about that, let's take a look at